Hello, I'm Garrett Godfrey, and welcome to the Crowdfunding Christian Music Podcast, where I will help you find and fund the music you love. This is episode 26, recorded Thursday, August 6th, 2015. We're going to be looking at some current campaigns by Geoff Moore, Salt of the Sound, Justin McRoberts, Tabitha Lewis, and Kristen May from Flyleaf, plus some updates on the Eagle Rock Gospel Singers, Nick, Flora, and Tree 63. I hope you enjoy the show and find something you can fund. Okay, so before we get into the campaigns, I just want to remind you that we've got the timestamps for the specific campaigns in the show notes, and if you back any of the campaigns, or even if you just want these artists to get more publicity, help them spread the word, be sure to tweet about it, post on Facebook, Google+, mention it to your friends in real life, spread the word. Maybe mention this show too. But make sure they know about these campaigns that you are excited about. If you want to send me feedback, you can email me feedback@crowdfundingchristianmusic.com or use Twitter. I'm the other CCM. So on to the campaigns. First up is Geoff Moore. He's a Christian music veteran with over 30 years under his belt. Now, I remember him and his earliest stuff from my own youth and watching his music mature over the years, from straight-on pop to rock and roll, teen-focused projects to music more for grown-ups. Now he's back with a Kickstarter campaign for what will be his 15th album. The songs explore things that he loves, and he's having his friend Don Chaffer from Waterdeep produce it. Let's hear more about the project and the campaign video. Here we go.
One of the freedoms of making independent music is that you feel just unencumbered a little bit from this big machine. When you record for a major label, there are a lot of cooks in the kitchen about what you write and what you record and how everything looks and sounds. But one of the things that I've loved about this period of my life is that I think much less about music as a commodity, and I see it more as a companion to the things that I care about in my life.
How long have you been married?
I've been married long enough that we regularly get into these kind of strange arguments about how long we've been married. Yeah, Josh was born, and then 2 years later our son Justin was born. The boys grew up at the end of the 80s, kind of through the heyday of Me in the Distance. Adoption was something that I can honestly say was never on our radar. Something kind of started percolating in my wife's heart. And I'm not proud to tell you that the very first thought that went through my mind when she said, "Geoff, I'd like you to think and pray about maybe we should adopt," and was, I have to figure out how to stop this. But I went from not wanting to do it to we were supposed to do this. And we adopted Anna Grace, and then 2 years later we adopted Ashley Rose. I kind of felt like it was just something I was going to do to help somebody. I just didn't expect it to help me so much.
You can have my heart, all the love I have is here.
My dad had grown up in rural poverty, and I think one of the gifts he wanted to give his kids is that we be protected from poverty. As a result, I had very little contact with poverty. That trip to Haiti was just, it tore me down. It introduced me to the world as so much of it really is, and confusion or anger or frustration or sadness, because it shook some pretty foundational issues in my life. But that ministry's been like this great rudder, because it's allowed me to see just the impact that a relationship with Jesus makes in people's lives. That was the first of, golly, I bet I've been on 40 trips with Compassion since that trip to Haiti. And it's one of those things where I started out to help somebody, and I'll never repay those people for what they've taught me. I mean, at this point in my life, and I've talked to enough of my friends that I know a lot of us feel the same thing of really wanting to make every day count, wanting to be present in the moments that we're living in and not be caught up in just trying to get to a goal. That there's something meaningful, tangible, simple, obedient about kind of get up in the morning and just say, I don't know about tomorrow, I don't know about next week or next month or next year, but I have a feeling about today, about what I'm supposed to do today. That is where contentment is born for me. If I found a peaceful place in my life, it's that.
I've been thinking about my story. I pray I'm passing on the story of love that runs through everything.
Now you got to hear some of his music at the end of that video. I'm going to go to the Amazon page for his last album, Saying Grace, to play a couple more clips just to get a taste for his new stuff.
Are too great when I bend from the weight. I believe, I believe, I believe. When the night falls and darkness closes in, and the voice of doubt comes creeping in, with the weight of your regret. Is it all these things that make you forget? On your best day, on your worst day, every second that you're breathing, you are loved, loved. You can rise up, you can fall down, and it never changes how much you are loved.
Now he needs $30,000 for this campaign, and he's almost halfway there in just about a week. I mean, he's got 3 more weeks to go. It's 23 days. This doesn't close until August 30th, and he's already at $13,000. So for $12, you get a digital copy of the project. For $18, you get a signed CD, and there are some more reward levels there as well. If this sounds like something you want to check out, the links will be in the show notes. Next up are Salt of the Sound. Now they are an award-winning husband and wife duo, Ben and Anita Tatlow, from Stockholm, Sweden, and they lead the music ministry of their church. Now they've got a beautiful ambient sound that kind of reminds me of Moya Brennan, and they combine reflective electronic sounds with acoustic instruments, and they've released a good bit of music, but it was their cover of In the Bleak Midwinter last year that really caught my attention. So I'm actually going to play that for you right now. I just found that hauntingly beautiful. So let's go to their campaign video and hear more about this campaign.
Since we released our debut album Journeys back in November 2013, our music has won an Independent Christian Film Award, been played on BBC Radio and Swedish National TV, and been featured on a host of Christian music websites and great podcasts.
And that's not to mention our wonderful community of listeners and fans who hear and support our music ongoing.
And now we're hard at work on our second full-length album of brand new music. With your help, we can not only make this the best Salt of the Sound record yet, but also reach a whole load of new people who wouldn't otherwise have a chance to listen to the sound of reflective Christian music.
Why Kickstarter? We're raising funds to get our new album professionally mastered, to cover the upfront costs of CDs and other awesome merchandise, and to put the music in front of hundreds of thousands of new listeners. Plus, we're also super excited to be able to offer you a bunch of other opportunities, such as collaborating with us, home concerts, and much more.
Thanks for watching, and thank you so much for your support.
Now, on the campaign page, they've got a number of videos, so I definitely encourage you to come back and check this out. But right now, I'm going to play part of a song called Dwell Among Us.
Keep moving and living and breathing in us. Keep walking and singing and speaking through us. You dwell among us. You dwell among us. You dwell among us.
It's just so laid back, but really compelling. And you can listen to all their music on Bandcamp. They've got quite a lot of music up there on Bandcamp. I'll have the links in the show notes. And you can actually pick up they've got just tons of music there. A lot of those are singles and EPs, but they've got a 5-song EP that you can pick up over at Noise Trade free or leave a tip. So definitely check out the show notes for that as well. Now, for the Kickstarter campaign, for about $10, you get the early download of the album. For $15, you get an extra 2 exclusive tracks, and that's only for the backers at that level and people who have subscribed to their music through Bandcamp as a yearly subscription. For $19, you get a Bamboo 4-gig USB stick with the new album and those extra tracks, or for $19, you can get the signed CD. For about $29, you can get either all the music they've ever done so far, including this album, or 2 limited edition CDs that are signed, or 2 of the Bamboo USB thumb drives with the album and extra tracks. And there are a lot more reward levels available there as well. So if this sounds like something you want to check out, the links will absolutely be in the show notes. Next up is Justin McRoberts. Now, he's been putting out music now for over 15 years. He had started out working with Young Life and had begun writing songs during that time, and then he put out his debut album on 5 Minute Walk back in '99. Now, if you want to hear the whole story about how he got signed to 5 Minute Walk and some of the things that happened in those early years, you definitely need to listen to today's episode. That's episode 88 of the Who Writes This Stuff podcast, where Justin McRoberts and Nick Flora have a lot of fun discussing a lot of things, including this. He put out 2 albums on 5 Minute Walk before the label folded, and he's been independently putting out great stripped-down music ever since. He's got a new EP coming out soon titled Everything Has Changed, and he's running a digital pre-order campaign for it right now on his website. For $5, you get an email with the links for MP3 and WAV files when it's released on September 1st. And if you do it through this pre-order, you also get an audiobook of his book CMYK free. Let's take a listen to the title track from the EP over at his SoundCloud page.
Used to know all the names of the things that I fear. Everything has changed, oh, everything has changed. Everything has changed. stay inside when the shadows grow longer. Just run and hide. Used to take your abuses and swallow my pride. Everything has changed for me.
Wow, great instrumentation, great vocals. Looks like it's going to be a fantastic project. If you head over to Noise Trade and search for Justin McRoberts, you can pick up an album of cover songs, a collection of Christmas songs. These are all just for free or a tip. So if this sounds like something you want to check out, I've got links for the show notes for the Noise Trade page, the SoundCloud page, the Who Writes This Stuff podcast episode, and his pre-order page, all in the show notes. Definitely worth checking it out. Next up is Tabitha Lewis, a new artist from Toronto, Canada. Now, I say new, but she actually says that this project is 10 years in the making. She's artistic, she's creative, she puts out a variety of styles from folk to electronica to soul to pop. She's got lots of her music over at her SoundCloud page. She's got 30 songs ready. 4 songs are already recorded. She hopes that if enough is raised from this campaign, she can record at least maybe 6 more and perhaps make this a 10-song project. But right now she's got 4 and hoping for 5. Let's hear her talk a little bit about it on her campaign video.
Hi, my name is Tabitha. I am a new artist, singer-songwriter from Toronto, Canada. Getting a lot of great feedback. My goal is to release an EP. Story behind my music. It's really just an inspirational group of songs of things that I've gone through and how I've overcome. As a Christian, I rely on my faith in God to pull me through a lot of situations, so you'll see that as a theme in all of my songs. And hope to just inspire and uplift people that might be going through similar situations and give them some hope. I hope to release an EP this summer, working with Hive Studio in Hamilton, Ontario. If it was up to me alone, I would have given up hope. I wrote the song Dreams because I was in a situation where I had taken a lot of risk and I felt stuck. I felt like I couldn't pursue my dreams and I had to do what I needed to do just to survive. And it just hit me that, it would be a shame if I were to die tomorrow or in a year or in 10 years and I didn't even pursue these great dreams that I had. Dreams to be a really creative and adventurous and musical person that I had always dreamed to be. So I wrote the song Dreams. So I hope it connects to someone out there who feels like they can't go forward with their dreams and they figure out a way and they're inspired to go forward.
Please live out your dreams. Yeah, yeah. Live out your dreams. As your dreams become reality. Starting to see. Please live out your dream.
So we got to hear the song Dreams at the end of her video, and I'm going to take us to her SoundCloud page and play a couple samples from there as well. So we'll play a little bit of this track called Beautiful Light.
You took me by surprise. You walked into my broken life, and you made me new. You made me new. You took me by surprise. into my eyes, and you made me new. Yes, you made things smooth, yeah. The stars are shining bright, 'cause you light up my world. There's nowhere else I could find such a light so bright. The stars are shining bright, you lighten up my world. There's nowhere else I could find this beautiful light. This beautiful light.
And I'm going to play a track, Don't Give Up. Let me scroll down for it. Here we go.
Give up now. Don't give up now. You say weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in morning Don't give up.
And if we look over at her Kickstarter page, for the Kickstarter page for $10 is about Canadian, it's about $8 US. You get a digital copy of the album. For $20 Canadian, you get a signed copy of the CD and more. So if this sounds like something you'd want to check out, the links will be in the show notes. Next up is Kristen May. Now, she's a former vocalist for Videra and the current vocalist for Christian hard rock band Flyleaf. Kristen's taking some time off the road, and she's back home in Kansas City working on a solo project, and she's using Pledge Music to help her put it out. Let's hear more about what she has to say about this solo project and being back home.
I'm Kristen May, and I'm offering you the opportunity to come on this journey with me as I make a solo album. You know, for the past 10 or 12 years, I have been playing in bands, and we've been on the road a lot, and I've had these amazing experiences, you know, getting to travel and see things I never would have seen before from my home in Kansas City, and it's been incredible. But I think it's a really unique time in my life right now because I've had some time off the road and been able to be here in Kansas City and really draw inspiration from the places where I drew inspiration for the first time when I was writing music. So, you know, Kansas City is a really inspiring place besides the fact that, you know, my friends and family live here, and I'm very influenced by my relationships, and so I write a lot about those in my songs. But, you know, also spending time in the coffee shops here, and the museums, and the culture and the art has always influenced me in my writing and in my style and just everything that I'm about. I chose Pledge Music because I, you know, talked to them before, and I'd worked with them when we did the Flyleaf album Between the Stars, and it really was the best experience I've had making an album. Another cool thing about Pledge Music is I get the opportunity to offer you unique merchandise and unique opportunities that I wouldn't do elsewhere. So I'll be auctioning off some watercolors that I will be making as kind of companion pieces to each song. I'll be having posters for sale that are made by local artists here in Kansas City. There will be t-shirts, other things like Skype sessions, you know, little house shows, or even getting to come into the studio with me and the other musicians I choose to work with on this album. So I think it's going to be an amazing ride, and it's going to be something totally unique and personal for me. So I really hope that you'll come on this journey with me, and thank you guys so much. I just need you. Every prayer that I lay down.
So the music at the end of the video definitely was a little mellower than the stuff she's done with Flyleaf. So I'm actually going to play just a little bit of a Flyleaf song, so you can hear some of what she can sing. So that is Kristen May. If you go back to the Pledge Music page, for $15 you can get the CD. For $12 you can get a digital download of the album. For $15 you can get the CD and the download. For $20 the CD is signed, and as she mentioned, she's got a lot of other opportunities for the rewards there as well. So if this sounds like something you want to check out, the links are in the show notes. And normally I like to take a look back at a campaign that's closed and provide an update. Tonight I have 3 updates. Tonight's first update is about the Eagle Rock Gospel Singers. I am so very excited about these guys. Now, I'd covered their Pledge Music campaign back in episode 20. Here are the updates. They got signed to Bada Bing Records. The new album is titled Heavenly Fire and comes out everywhere tomorrow, August 7th. You can stream the whole thing at relics.com, and they got some amazing videos of them jamming in a van, and they're currently touring the Northwest. So absolutely hit up the show notes, watch the videos, go out, buy their new project this weekend if you haven't already pledged for it through their Pledge Music campaign. So it's the www.relix.com, where it's doing the album premiere, and you can stream their album at Heavenly Fire from that website. And they did some videos for Jam in the Van that were just incredible, plus another one up in Los Angeles. You know, I'm actually going to play a couple of these clips.
Filled with grace was redeemed. You, my shame was wiped away from me. Oh my Lord, I wanna put right here. Heavenly fire, shine, shine, shine. Let me roll away and let me sing my ear. All from this little light of mine. All at once found my Father. All at once knew supreme. All at once I was filled.
I'm going to play another one too.
Devil is a liar, and I know that he'll be trying for me. All I ever gotta do is get down on my bended knees. 1, 2, 3, 4. I keep waiting on simple shining. I keep waiting on simple shining. I keep waiting on simple shining. I keep waiting on simple shining.
Anyway, absolutely check it out. So that's the update on the Eagle Rock Gospel Singers. Next update tonight is about Nick Flora. Now, we had covered his Kickstarter campaign for 3 EPs back in episode 13. The big news is the first EP is complete. I got my download for Futureboy, and it's 5 great songs, all dealing with time, and just in time, if you're willing to wait for a little bit of time, it will be released for the general public September 22nd. So if you're a backer, you're already enjoying it with me, and if you're not enjoying it yet, check your email links. But if you didn't back it, that's okay. You can get it September 22nd, and I've got a sneak peek at the cover art. There you go. Once he puts out any of it online, I will be sure to play a sample of it for you, or if he just gives me the okay to do that. And the third update is about Tree 63. Now, I'd covered their Kickstarter campaign back in episode 8, and if you were a backer, you've already received your downloads and this great little CD right here. If you weren't a backer and you missed it, don't worry. The new album Land is coming out September 11th for everywhere else. So really great stuff. Those are the campaigns for the week, but I want you to stick around for just a couple more things. If you like the theme song at the beginning of the show, and I also throw some at the end, it's Hypostatic Union by a group out of South Africa called The X Structure. It's Creative Commons. All their music right now is Name Your Price over at Bandcamp. And, of course, links in the show notes. Head over, stream their songs, see what it's worth to you, buy some of their music, include a note that you heard about it here on the Crowdfunding Christian Music Podcast. Don't forget to head over to crowdfundingchristianmusic.com, where you'll find all of the episodes and these show notes that I keep talking about. Spread the word about the show. If you know somebody you think would be interested, be sure to let them know about it. And if you're on Facebook, like the podcast page, and that way when I post about it, you can share that post on your wall to spread the word. And stick around. There are going to be more campaigns covered next week. In the meantime, you can email me feedback at crowdfundingchristianmusic.com. Message me on Twitter at @theotherccm, or you can use the submission form link at the top of the website. I'm Garrett Godfrey. I will see you next week. Bye.